Welcome back, guys, to another video today on the Coalesce channel. I'm here with FeedMe, the coach of the Coalesce CSGO team, and we're going to be just talking about the season so far, how it's gone, and whether we expected anything a little bit different. We'll try and break it down for you, and then sort of coming into playoffs, talk a little bit about that. So, FeedMe, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing good, bro. Doing good. Working hard.
Let's start with what your thought process was behind, picking the players you did, and maybe a few different reasons, why we chose these individuals, and just break that down for us.
Okay, so the thought process began with the base of an in-game leader at the beginning, and the in-game leader at the start of the team that I picked was Robin. And then from there, we continued on. We added like Jack as this solid, experienced topper that played in Tier 1 for many months. And then after that, we continued with the other pieces. And we tried some players, and we made even a roster change early on in the team. And when we made the roster change, I picked Emmy. I first came to Robin and the team and said, okay, Emmy is a free agent now, and he's a super experienced in-game leader. And I knew Robin played the lurk role in his past teams, like for almost 2 years or more. He played it in endpoint, and I knew he can adapt. And I asked him, like, would you be willing to try this? Because Emmy would be a really good fit for our team. And everybody was on board. Even Robin was completely on board. And that's why we picked Emmy, and we have Manen as our star young rifler, and we have Sao as a guy who can do everything in the team. Like, he can do support, he can entry, he can do like fill all the gaps that are needed. So that was kind of the thought process, to have all the roles in place for the team.
And obviously, now we've made those changes, we're seeing some hard work from the team, and that's really good to see, and some progress, which is nice. So like a little bit of a question, sort of building the team, what was your biggest challenge? Obviously we had some changes, and we've had different variations, some role changes and things like that. What would you say sort of became your biggest challenge?
Well, the biggest challenge to building an international team from scratch is, first of all, just players to get used to each other, and so everybody looks at CS the same way, because some people are Swedish. They look CS completely different, maybe from somebody who is Serbian, who is from Spain, who is from another country, and all of those people need some time and adjustment so they can see how the teammate next to them thinks and how he naturally reacts. That was the biggest challenge. You make a system from scratch and get everybody to look at CS the same way, and I feel like we're starting that more and more now, and that's why results have been improving. With every international team, it's a longer process than when you have 5 guys from the same country that played with each other in many different teams before.
Yeah, because I think definitely throughout, right, we've seen a few maybe sort of conflicts of styles of play and things like that, and obviously, like you said, you expected this coming in through an org point of view. When we decided to go international and build, we sort of we had the conversations prior, and we discussed these things would most likely occur, and they did. But I feel like we're starting to come out the other side, and things are starting to be really positive and things like that, which is great to see. Was there a surprise that maybe a player or something you didn't expect from the team itself, like that really took you aback and made you think, okay, like I'm here now?
I mean, the biggest surprise was when we had to do the roster change, because nobody expected it after we made the first roster with Thomas, but it is what it is. And other than that, there wasn't really any big surprises. It was just working day by day on the things that we all expected can take time. So I think other than the roster change, no other big surprises.
There has been at times sort of a lot of external pressure, I guess, a lot of comments and a lot of things sort of about the team, and maybe we didn't go to 100 miles an hour straight away. Of course, it's something you expected, and I'm probably used to. And how did you find yourself sort of dealing with that and making sure the team were just focusing on what they did? And obviously, we know there are a lot of experienced players in that, so we expect them to be able to deal with these things. But does it ever affect the mood, and do you allow it to?
Every bad period in any esport or sport, of course, it affects the team, and it affects the player, it affects everybody, because everybody wants to win so much. But it only means that you need to either work harder or find another way to work smarter. And I think that's what pushed us to change how we approach practice, how we approach like our like game in general, like what style we want to play, how we want to even communicate. And I think the bad results forced us to learn a lot of new things. It was like nothing anybody likes or expected, but it's again things that happen to new teams that are built from scratch. So I think even though we had some losses, they only made us learn stuff.
So if we're looking to a more positive point, and where we're starting to grow now, you know, we started obviously ESEA Advanced. What a start, that's all we can say, right? 5-0 start, as I think we were sort of expecting and we would have wanted to do. You know, have you got any sort of thoughts on that? Obviously you've been working for a long time and the guys wanted to play officials, and they weren't coming, and then yeah, ESEA comes and we start 5-0. You know, what are your thoughts on that one?
First matches went kind of smooth. I don't know like if it's the way we played, if it's the opponents that we faced, but they just went like as expected. We expected all of these matches to go smoothly. We thought like it would continue into the season, even though we had a string of losses after that, but the opening of the season went pretty much as planned, so there was no real surprise to that.
We had some really good results now, really strong. First test game midway through the season. We're 5-0.
Yeah.
And we go into the game into the Breach, a team we know well. Obviously Thomas transferred from ourselves and went over to Into the Breach for the time being. You know, we went into that game and obviously it wasn't the outcome we were looking for. You know, we take away the positives from the game, maybe a few, but we learned a lot, right?
Yeah, exactly. From every loss you learn, and from that one we learned as much as we did from any other one. So it was nothing crazy. Like if you have a bad game, you will learn some stuff and just move on from that. That was nothing special.
So yeah, we really started to hit sort of a rough point in the season, you could say. These things happen. Every team loses. Every team goes through difficult periods. You know, how did you sort of steer the ship in that situation? You know, was there anything in particular that told the team or anything you changed, you know, in practices and things like that?
I mean, we changed some stuff, like how we approach practice, how we approach the game in general, that I don't want to reveal too much, but it was actually very helpful. We all learned from it, really, and we all learned like how can we be more productive and how can we work more efficient instead of like grinding. Like how can we get the most out of our practices? And we put in a lot of thought into that, a lot of work into it, and I think the results, okay, they're starting to show now, but I believe they will start to show even in the future now.
And then obviously we get past these games and we have 5 games left. We need 4 wins to make playoffs. We've got some tough opponents, but again, we're confident, right? We know we can beat anyone. Lo and behold, we take the first 2. Then we come up against, I believe it was Blink, 16-14. What could be a really, really frustrating loss, you know, but again, we sort of took the positives, right?
It was really a close game. It was really a game when we had the lead and where we had a lot of clutches. The clutches went the opponent's way and we just kept going after it. We knew it was nothing. We can still win every other game, and we did.
Exactly. We went into the last 2. Unbelievable. You saw the video of me. I was getting hyped after the last match. It means a lot to me seeing the team win. I feel it when they lose. I feel it when they win. To make playoffs, it was really important for us, for ourselves as a brand, for you guys as a team, and you know, it was a really great feeling. The practice is been in place. Practice has been good, and we're ready. We have our opponent, B8, or is it Bait? How do you pronounce it? Do you know?
B8, I guess.
B8. We'll go with B8. To be honest, I'm not too clued up on the team myself. I know Wrinkle, but not too much about the other guys. So I don't know. I'm sure you do.
These guys played together for quite a while. I don't know, I can't remember exactly if it's all 5, but I remember facing them in like the past year multiple times, even in my past teams. They're a CIS team, they played together for a long time, they have their own style, but yeah, I feel still pretty confident. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know, next few weeks, we're going to be sort of expecting anything different from the team, or we're just going to be keeping on practice, running through playoffs as best we can, and hopefully have some more events and things like that.
I mean, in the next few weeks, we will continue like with the new way of practicing that we figured out, and we're just going to be like practicing, preparing for matches, playing the matches, having like a rest day in between, and then just moving on and trying to go as far as we can in the playoffs.
Are you going to give me any kind of prediction for playoffs at all on where you'd like to finish? Maybe
for the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna try to go as far as we can. I honestly don't know how far, but I am, as a coach, confident that we can go really far. And we're just gonna do our best and play it game by game, and we'll see.
Anything can happen, of course. Oh, lovely. Well, that brings us to the end. That's sort of been everything from me. I don't know if you've got any sort of message to any of our followers or our supporters before we go.
I mean, I just want to thank everybody who is watching us, and thanks to all of our sponsors, of course, and thanks to you and everybody from the org who is just like you, who is watching our every match, cheering for us, and it means a lot. The support is really, really important.
That's been it. That's our sort of end of season review going into playoffs. I've been Kanny, and I've been joined by the wonderful FeedMe. Make sure to check out our sponsors, Shipnobi and Ebuyer, and we'll catch you all again soon. Cheers, guys.
Bye, guys.